Jessica Muro, welcome to Latinas Power Talk.
Oh,
Hi.
thank you.
How
Hi.
are you?
I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing great. You look amazing, girl. I love
so
your
do
hair.
you. I love the shoes.
We're finally
feel
like a little bit in like winter.
I
We're
wish the camera.
matching
I know.
a little bit.
Yes. Hey,
We were kind of in sync. Yes. And I was thinking of wearing a white shirt, so I was like, okay.
And I always wear black, so I was like, let's like spruce it up a little bit.
I love wearing black.
Me too.
I think like my mom growing up, I would always be like, Mom, why are you always wearing black? And now I know.
It's so flattering.
Yes.
Like you can dress it up, you can dress it down.
Never goes out of style.
Yep.
And it does slim the body. Let's just be honest.
Always.
You know.
Yes.
I love a cute little black dress. Like it's your go-to. When in doubt, wear a little black dress. You know.
Facts.
But you are the owner of Everyday Beauty Salon. You are also, in my book, a TikTok baddie, and we're going to talk about that. And then you're a teen mom turned boss woman, and you are a former Mormon, which we're going to get into that.
Oh, yes.
I want to get into it all, girl.
So much to unpack.
You ready?
I think I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it. So I want to take us back to kind of the beginning of your entrepreneur journey. You were a teen mom, so you got pregnant in high school.
I did. My going into my senior year.
Senior year.
Yes.
What went through your mind?
Whew. I can't believe this happened to me.
Yeah.
Honestly, I feel like when you are sexually active as a teen, right, you do know that the consequences that can lead to pregnancy, but you never really think like, oh, what's going to happen to me?
I was going to say, I think you're always like, oh, you hear about it, but
it's,
come on.
I'm fine.
Not
I'm going to be fine. Yes.
That's not going to happen to me. Yes.
Yeah, and I think at that age, you really don't think like, wait, it actually can. Like, I can have a baby.
So did you give birth before you graduated then?
So thankfully, I have always loved school, and I actually had enough credits to finish school in December. So I finished it the first semester of my senior year, and then my son was born 3 months later, so in March. So thankfully, I was done with school. So then during those months, you know, I just worked full time.
Yeah.
And then I got to walk with my graduating class in May with my 2-month-old at the time.
Do you feel like at that point you felt like you missed out on like the senior experience, kind of like the college life, going into college afterwards and so forth?
Definitely missed out. Like I mean, I was pregnant. I was pretty pregnant once, you know, towards the end of my first semester.
Yeah.
You know, I didn't go out with friends because my parents were very supportive, but they also said, hey, like you have to provide for your child yourself. Like we'll help you with watching him when you're at work. But at the end of the day, like, you're the one that has to pay for the diapers and everything that he needed. So I did work a lot, you know, trying to prepare for having a baby. And, I did miss out on a lot. I didn't get to go to my senior prom and, you know, do all those fun senior things, especially that happened in the second semester, just because
those, like, core memories. Yeah.
Yes.
But, I mean, on the bright side, you had a beautiful little baby.
Oh, my gosh.
You know?
I honestly, looking back, and you know how people say regrets, like, what would you change? I wouldn't change anything because I feel like all of those things have led me to where I am today.
I was going to say, everything, if like anyone is listening to us and they're like, oh my gosh, like you're regretting a certain season in your life, there's beauty in everything that happens. Like even in the darkest moments, like there's a purpose
There's something to learn from
it. Yeah. And like, I think in moments, me personally, when like just shit is hitting the fan, I'm like, what is this teaching me? Like it either teaches you something, or I forget what the saying is. It's like, it's either teaching you or blessing you with something like that.
Yes, always something good comes from it.
For sure. And it got you to this point. But I remember when we first met, you were saying how you stayed home you were a stay-at-home mom up until your third baby.
Yes.
So you were 100% a stay-at-home mom.
Well, once I met my husband, my son then had just turned 3. We got married. I worked, had our second baby because we decided, well, we already have one. Yeah. It wasn't together, but we already had one. Might as well just, you know,
continue growing the family.
Yes. Might as well just get it out of the way so that way there's not a large age gap. So yes, was blessed enough to stay home after I had my second child. I did do odd things like, you know, I helped babysit for a friend in the mornings because she had to go to work, and I'd get a little extra money that way, or I'd help like watch like a child here and there and things like that. But yes, I stayed home all the way until my third baby was starting preschool.
So at what point did you say, you know what, I kind of want to do a drastic change in my life and I need something more? Did you feel like something was missing at that point in your life?
Yes.
Like as a woman?
Yes. I think a lot of times we don't talk about being a stay-at-home mom is the loneliest and hardest job you will ever do. Yes. It is very lonely. It's hard. It never ends. It's not like a job where it's just like, okay, I'm clocking out. Peace out. Like,
right.
It's 24/7, and
people need you.
Yes.
And I feel, well, you guys know I'm not a mom, right? But I'm an observer. So I see like my friends who are moms, and my mom as well, my tias, everyone. Like, I feel like it is really hard, and I would love to know your experience, to kind of lose yourself in just becoming a mom.
You do lose yourself.
And that's one of my biggest fears, honestly. How do you think you lost yourself?
Oh, yes. I feel like because I was a teen mom as well, I never figured out who I was. And I think now almost, I'm going to turn 40 here in a couple of months.
Girl, you look amazing.
Thank you.
You do not look an age over 25,
so
a day over 25.
Knowing that I'm going to be, I feel like now I'm barely figuring out who I am.
Yeah.
Because I don't have little kids anymore that need me. I'm able to go out with my girlfriends and just go out by myself and just figure out who I am and what I want. So it's definitely taken me a long time because I was a young mom.
So let's talk a little bit about that mom life, because you said like it's lonely. Give me a little bit, like prep me a little bit for when like motherhood
so
knocks on my door.
I don't want to scare you off, because there's amazing things that happen. Like, everything about motherhood is hard, but so rewarding and so amazing at the end of the day. I think it's just lonely because you're just in that, like, okay, you would wake up, you have a baby, you feed, nap times, clean, laundry. Like, you never really had the time to just for yourself.
Yes. Because somebody else is wanting
and needing
all of you.
Yes. And then obviously, given that I was able to stay at home, my husband was always working.
Yeah.
Like, it was kind of that sacrifice, right?
And I feel like back then, it wasn't a big conversation as it is now of self-care.
Yes.
And taking time for yourself.
It wasn't.
And I think sometimes, like, people, let's rewind to 10 years ago, moms who wanted to take some time off for themselves were shamed for it.
Yes, was considered selfish.
Yes.
And especially in the Latin community.
Our moms ever went to go get a pedicure? Yes.
Like, you can do it. I did it. Why can't you do it? Like, you don't need the help. Figure it out. You wanted to have kids.
Yes.
And so
that's a double-edged sword, because I think, for one, it gives you resilience. Like, you're like, okay, I can do it. Like, síguele. Like, tú puedes. You know what I mean? But on the other hand, it's like, how much do you give without burning yourself out?
Yes. Yeah.
I don't know.
And it's hard because, like, growing up in that mindset, right, I never felt comfortable to just call my mom and be like, hey, Mom, I'm having a hard day. Like, can you come watch the kids? Like, it was more of like all right, suffer in silence. Like, I'm having a bad day, counting down until my husband got home so I could be like, hey, I need 5 minutes. Like, here are the kids. I'm going to go in the closet and cry for a second. I'll be back.
That's right. Like, I feel like I never saw my mom cry ever. And it's like, I'm sure she had
100%.
her moments where she was like, what am I doing? You know what I mean? Like, But okay, so what was the day? Do you remember when you're like, you know what? I need something new in my life?
I think what it did it for me was just realizing two things, actually. So realizing that my kids were all going to be in school. Because like I said, I didn't start, my business until my youngest was starting preschool. So it's kind of like, all right, I've always been one of those that wants to be useful during my time. Yeah. So it's like, well, there's only so much you can do at home when no kids around.
I think that's
like,
a Latina in us.
It is.
We're like, okay, don't just sit around, watch TV.
Yes, you got to do something.
Yes.
You got to be doing something. Yes. And then the second thing is my mother-in-law, actually. So my mother-in-law was married to my father-in-law passed away 6 years ago. So, and he became sick. He was diagnosed with epilepsy, and he was the main breadwinner in their family. And I remember once chatting with her, before I had all 3 kids, and she gave me some great advice that, you as a woman, you have to learn how to set yourself up in case something happens, because it's not always divorce. It could be like my brother-in-law, right? Epilepsy, and he wasn't able to work, and she had 4 kids. She hadn't worked. She hadn't gone to college. She's worked at an OSCO and kind of just, figured out how to make ends meet. So that was always my thing, is like, okay, as much as I can rely on my husband for support, you just never know what can happen.
No, that is true. And I think that is very, very smart, that sometimes we don't instill that in our daughters, especially in our culture.
Yes.
I mean, I will always be so grateful for my dad, because my dad is a girl dad. So I think I heard someone say a man becomes a feminist when he has daughters.
Yes, I've heard that too.
And I think that happened with my dad.
Yes.
Because he's your traditional, like, Mexicano, you know what I mean? Where traditional to his core. But yet when it came to raising me, he would always be like, I want you to be financially independent so that you don't have to stay with a man because he provides for you. If you want to leave him, if you want to get a divorce or fall out of love or whatever, or something happens to him, like, you're going to be okay. And I think we need more of that, honestly. That way, you know.
And it doesn't have to be like, oh my gosh, I'm this big boss babe and I'm never home. Like, even just a side hustle, you know, at least so you know, like, if anything happens, or right now with so many people getting laid off and things like that, like, if that's to happen, then okay, hey, at least I can, my little side hustle provides something.
And nowadays, I feel like the world is just way too expensive to only survive off of one income. Like, I don't know how my parents did it, because my dad was the only one who, like, worked. But yeah, nowadays I'm like, with the cost of living, it's insane. Yeah. You you look at the market value of like houses and you're like, what the heck?
My gosh.
What are people doing to afford this?
Literally,
You know
literally.
I mean?
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, I look and I'm like, my kids may never be able to afford their own home.
Yeah.
Like,
so you did a few different jobs before you opened up Everyday Beauty Salon. So take us through kind of like that process, because you really dipped your toes into a few different businesses. Was this you kind of like exploring like what your calling was, what your purpose was? Or were you just like, you know what? I like all this stuff. Let's just give it a go.
That. Okay.
So like what did you start with?
So my first little business that I did was making hair bows.
Okay.
So
like the cheer ones?
No, like just for women or like babies and stuff like that. So that was really in. I would say that was like 2000. I don't know, like 2010.
Yeah.
Like, do you remember like those big giant bows?
Yes.
So I did that, and then quickly figured out like, oh, like it's fun to make them, but not when you're forced to make them. Like when people were ordering, it was like, oh yeah, I kind of ordered, but then it was like, oh,
now I have to do the job.
Yes. So from there, then when was it? Like 2000, maybe 2014, 15. Teepees were in. Do you remember? I don't know if you remember that, but everybody had a teepee for their kid. And given that we were just a one-income household, you know, it was kind of like, okay, well, I can't go out and buy a $200 teepee.
Right.
So I came up with, like, I'm going to make one myself. Like, I want one for my kids' playroom. I think it'd be so cool. So my husband and his friend that was over at the time helped me kind of figure out how to make this teepee. We had bought in, like, 2x1s, like, long wood planks, and I bought, like, this big canvas. And together we figured out how to make this teepee.
You were over there cutting and sewing it up and everything.
Okay, literally. And then I even got creative because I've always been artsy. I did like these really cool like paintings on them, like all the way around. Just made it look
They're not just going to be a basic teepee.
No,
I'm going to give it,
not. Yeah. So from there, I remember posting a picture of like, oh my gosh, look what I made. And then people were like, would you make one for me? I'll buy it from you. And I'm like, oh.
This was what year?
This was like 2014, 2015.
That was probably at the start of like Instagram picking up.
Yes, actually it was.
Okay.
And my my Browse by Jessica Muro page, if you scroll back far enough,
all the way,
you will find all my teepee stuff, because that was my teepee page.
Okay.
Yes. So people from there just started being like, hey, will you make this for me and buy it?
Can I just say really quick, I have to commend you, because you saw the value of Instagram before everybody else like picked up on that and was like, oh, let me just like, now every business is on Instagram, and it's like you saw the potential in it.
I did.
So hats off to you, girl.
So from there, I decided to look up in like little boutiques.
Yeah.
Because also at that time, that's when all these boutiques were popping up. Like they would come up on Christmas and it would just be homemade goods. So I signed up for a few boutiques and sold a lot of teepees.
Like pop-ups?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep. Like so many teepees. I even listed them on Etsy, and I would ship them to people, which was a nightmare because this was like a 7-foot tall teepee. Like trying
big
to cram
boxes.
Yes. Yeah. Huge boxes, like heavy.
You were walking in with the box.
Yes, I would walk in with like a few like runs. And then that eventually burned me out because of all of the pop-ups. Like it was just every weekend you had to be, commit to be there.
Which pop-ups are work.
They are.
From the girls that I've had on the podcast who have done pop-ups, they're like, no, like I am drained by the end of it.
You're exhausted.
Carrying everything, setting up your booth.
And you have to pre-make everything.
Yes.
Because you don't know what you're going to sell.
True.
You want to have enough of inventory.
Yeah, it's not like, okay, here's a pre-sale link.
Yep,
you know?
So it was a lot of work. So then I think I did that for about a year and a half. And then I was like, you know what? Like, this is just like, I'm getting burnt out. Like, I'm just tired. I'm tired of doing all these pop-ups. Like, let's find something new. So I had actually gotten my brows done around that time. Mm-hmm. And when my daughter was going to start preschool, that's when I kind of like my husband and, I let him know like, hey, I want to like do something, like something real now, like not just a little hobby or just something fun. Like I really want to start something.
I want something that's my forever career.
Yes. Something that I'm going to enjoy doing. Yeah. And he looks at me and he's like, why don't you go look into the brow thing you just got done? That's literally what he said. Because he didn't understand, like, he didn't know the word microblading yet. Like, he's like, whatever you got done, like, you should look into that. Like, to be honest, it took him 2 months to convince me to even look for a course. Yes. Because I was like, I'm not a makeup person. Like, what do you mean I'm going to do brows on people's faces? I'm going to be tattooing them. Like, this is crazy. Like, I thought he was crazy. But it wasn't until we kind of started breaking down the numbers of like, okay, if you see this many clients, you could potentially make this much. It was kind of like, oh my gosh, like, I have to do this for my family. Like, this can change our family forever. Like,
And then you start thinking about like college for your kids.
Yeah, literally. It was just kind of like that, oh my gosh, it'll give us that financial freedom that we really want if I just do this. So my husband's always been my biggest cheerleader. So literally at that time, this was a time in our life when we were just living paycheck to paycheck. Like we were struggling. I'm not embarrassed to admit we were on government assistance and had food stamps because we were under that poverty level. Like we weren't making a lot of money. And so we took the last little bit that we had in our savings and invested it into me taking a course. So fast forward, I take this microblading course. Love it. Like off the get-go, I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much.
Like I genuinely enjoy doing this.
Enjoy it, yes. And it came super naturally to me, which was like, I wasn't expecting it to come so easily. Literally, my course was 5 days long. On the day 6, I already had clients lined up.
No way.
Yes.
Stop it right now.
So again, Instagram. I started posting on Instagram. Like, hey guys, I'm going to be taking this course. Anybody who wants to get their brows done. I started doing them like stupid cheap. Like just to kind of get people under, my portfolio and
I feel like everyone always just gives their like work for free in the very beginning.
You do. Yes, because you have to,
build up your clientele.
Yes, you got to build up your clientele. And I started doing it out of my home. Yeah. But then quickly it turned into doing more than just close family and friends. It turned into, now I had strangers coming into my home. And within 6 months, it was kind of one of those, like, I need to make this legit, open up an actual LLC, get insurance, get all my ducks in a row, because this isn't just becoming like I'll see 2 or 3 clients a week. That's perfect. It's going to be close family and friends.
This is picking up.
Yes, it picked up. So within 6 months, I rented my first room from a salon. And literally, and I feel like this is where social media was amazing, my business blew up. Within those 6 months, I was booked out a solid 8 weeks. And I worked 5 days a week.
And it was just you?
Just me.
So you didn't have any help?
Nope,
it was just
no help,
you?
just me.
No
So
way.
I literally would see clients back to back. Like I would see about 8 to 10 clients a day. Like everyone just back to back, back to back to back. Every single day. We also had a goal in mind though, once I got that busy, is the house that we live in now. Was like, oh my gosh, if we can make X amount of money, we can buy this house. And this will be, and it has been, our almost forever home. Like we can have, our kids can have their own rooms. We can have more space. We can do all the things. So I feel like that's what kept me motivated. It was like, all right, hey, I don't care. I'm going to work those 10 to 12 hour shifts every day. So I can, help with this big purchase we're going to be doing.
So a few things that come to mind. One, do you think the reason why, I guess the key to not getting burnt out, because that's a lot of work.
Oh, it was a lot of work.
Like you probably were exhausted. You probably came home and you were mentally and physically just drained. Do you think having something that was a goal that you wanted to reach? Like, did that give you the fuel to keep on going?
Oh my gosh, yes. And honestly, if I'm being honest,
yeah.
when I microblade, it's therapeutic for me.
Is it really?
Yes. I often tell my clients, because they'll ask me, like, do you not get tired? Like, and I'm like, no, think of it like when you're coloring as a kid.
Okay.
Oh, it's just fun. Like, you can color for hours. I'm like, that is what microblading is for me.
So when you got it done the first time and you went back home and your husband just out of nowhere was like, why don't you do that eyebrow thing? Like, did you mention at any point that you were interested? Or do you think he just like
not
picked
at all.
it up off
he
of you?
just picked it up.
No way.
Like, we knew I wanted to do my own business because I still wanted, when my kids were little, I was very much involved in going on their field trips, trying to be the classroom mom, just trying to be very, very active in their school. So we knew it definitely had to be something where I could make my own schedule. And so I think that idea just popped in his mind because he saw how much I paid to get mine done and was like, oh, you're only gone for like 2 hours. And like, he's very quick on doing like the math, like how much would this cost? What, what's your overhead?
Is he a business owner himself?
He is. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he is.
I was like, he kind of sounds like a business owner. Okay.
Yes.
I mean, I think entrepreneurs are big on hustle, big on like, okay, what's the ROI on this? Like,
No, for
like
reals.
don't invest just to invest if it's not going to give you anything back, But I think your career has really been very successful on social media.
It has, yes.
Very big. So before we talk about the viral TikTok that popped up on my feed, what year was that? When I started microblading? When you started, yes.
2016.
16. So fast forward almost 10 years, right?
Yeah. I mean,
9 years?
2022 is when I opened my med spa.
Okay. So 2016 is when you first, and then 2022 is when you opened your med spa. So 3 years after, now you have a full staff.
Oh, yes.
Like, you guys are pretty well staffed where you have regulars now going and just like this is a successful business, girl.
Yes.
Like, I hope on the days where you're tired, you're like, wow, I did that.
Thank you.
And I did that on my own,
I did, yes.
So I hope you're really, really proud of that.
Thank you.
Let's talk about that TikTok that I saw on my feed. So fast forward to now, 2025. I remember scrolling through my TikTok and someone had reposted it and you were on the verge of tears.
I think I did cry.
And you said, these were your words, your business was failing. And you talked about how basically it was not doing good right now and how you had your entire staff depending on you for their paychecks and how they make a living and how they support their families and everything. And it blew up.
Yes.
So first, what made you want to post that?
I was at a moment of desperation. It kind of just felt like I'm in this giant ocean and I'm kicking and just trying to stay above water. And it was kind of like that last like reach for like a floaty. Like, okay, I have so many followers on TikTok. This is good. It's time for me to be vulnerable.
How many followers did you have at that time?
At that time,
you grew
I
after that.
I think I want to say about maybe 12,000 followers at the time. Okay. Which, I mean, maybe it's not a lot for a lot of people, but it's a lot for me.
No, it's a lot.
That is a lot of people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Did you ever feel like there was hesitation in posting it because you were going to feel judged? Or like,
course.
Also, I feel like sometimes admitting that your business is not doing the way that you would want it to do is like...
That's a hard pill to swallow.
It's a hard pill to swallow. I think it definitely like... let's be honest, taints our ego a little bit. Like, you know what I mean? Especially with social media being like, oh, the highlight reels of our lives. Like, for you to go and be like, you know what? My business is failing. Like, hats off to you for admitting that because I know there's a lot of other people who probably wouldn't admit that, Yeah. So, did you ever feel like you were going to be judged after?
Oh, yes.
Yeah?
I think, too, another thought that went through my head was like, my close family and friends that have no idea that my business is struggling is not going to know my business is struggling.
Yeah. I don't want them to worry about me.
Yes. I don't want them to worry about me or them to be like, well, you sure don't act like it's struggling, like, because a lot of times, like, you fake it till you make it.
Right.
You're posting, like you said, all the highlights, oh my gosh, we did this awesome thing as a family, or my business, we're totally booked out this week. You post all the good things.
Yeah.
That I think for sure, like, I got a lot of messages and phone calls from family and friends just being like, I had no idea. Like, no idea.
So when you saw it blow up,
Yes.
because you had a lot of support on there.
I did.
You had a lot of people reposting, a lot of people wanting to book, a lot of people commenting and sharing. How did that make you feel at that moment?
It made me feel heard and seen, and so appreciative that strangers were willing to drive to our salon, even if they weren't close at all, to just support because they saw my TikTok. Yeah.
I mean, what a beautiful thing. I think
it's amazing.
People say that like social media is a double-edged sword, and I do believe
it can be.
It could be very scary to put yourself out there, but also I think in those moments where you're very vulnerable, you find the people who are really there to support you. And sometimes it may even be strangers.
It is.
How crazy that sometimes it's like those people who you have never even met, and they're like, okay, you're willing to drive an hour and a half just to help me. Like, I don't know. I think sometimes I'm a very emotional person.
Me too.
It can like bring me to tears sometimes because I'm like, wow, like, I don't know. But I think you've been really smart in navigating social media. I mean, since the very beginning, girl, you saw the potential and what it had, you know, before anybody else picked up on that. But at that moment when you were making the TikTok and you did cry, you mentioned something that I don't think is talked about as much as well, being that there's this insane amount of pressure in having a team who relies on you.
Yes.
So what did that feel like of also them seeing it and maybe they weren't aware? I mean, they were aware that obviously it was slower, but not to the point maybe of like, oh, dang, like she may close up if we don't get anything in here.
I did talk to my staff actually 2 days before I posted that TikTok. So before I even made it or anything like that, I did let them know like, hey guys, we're not in a good spot right now. Like our bookings are down. We have, you know, from day one, because, you know, I was successful with microblading. My business was successful from day one, and all of a sudden we took a dip.
Yeah.
So I did let them know, like, hey, I don't want to scare anybody, but together we need to come together and start making sure we're posting more, asking our clients, like, hey, if you have any referrals, we'd appreciate it, word of mouth, things like that. So they kind of already knew.
Yeah.
But of course, you know, when you're sitting and having one-on-ones with your employees, you're not breaking down and crying. You're not being 100% vulnerable. You're just like saying like, hey, we just need a little extra help.
Right. You have the owner hat on, you know?
Yeah, you do. Yeah. And so when I filmed that TikTok, I think for them was just like, oh, wow, like, this wasn't just hey, we need more money. It was oh, shoot, like we really need all of the people to be coming in right now.
So tell us a little bit about what you offer for anyone wanting to make the drive over.
Of course,
tell us a little bit, please.
So we are a full med spa. The only thing we do not offer is injectables. So we do lashes, lash lifts, brow laminations, laser hair removals, spider ring removals, facials, microblading.
Facials? No way, girl.
Yes,
I am due for a facial.
Come in. Yes. All types of facial, microneedling, microblading, peels. We even do piercings.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, piercings.
Yes.
I was just telling my best friend, I'm like, I'm itching for another piercing.
Oh, what do you want pierced?
Like another ear.
Okay.
Yeah. Another ear piercing somewhere. I'm like, I like the ones inside. I like them all.
Oh.
Like at some point, I think my ear is going to be fully pierced.
I love that. Yeah.
Okay. So you guys know, where can they, where is it located?
We are on Power and Pecos here in Gilbert, and you can find us. Our handles are on Instagram and TikTok, Everyday Beauty Salon.
How is business doing now?
It's picked up.
Yeah.
Yes, it has definitely picked up. I wouldn't say we're out of the deep end yet, but it's definitely picked up. Like this whole week, we've actually been doing like this crazy sale. We've done it every year. It's called Better Than Black Friday. And so we actually moved it up a month because usually we do it in October. But we're like, okay, we kind of need all these sales and things to come in now. We can't wait till October.
Don't wait until October either.
Yes,
I mean,
do it now.
Pamper yourself, you know?
So it's definitely, thankfully, has been trending in the right direction. TikTok obviously helped a lot of just getting some people in, or even just word of mouth, you know, people just finding out about us. And then I've had another TikTok go viral for my business since that one, because we do GLP-1s too, I forgot to mention.
Yes.
So that one's been taking off a lot, and we've actually gotten a lot of new patients from that one too.
Nice. Yes. I love that, girl. I love that. And like, you know, look her up. But I was going to say, for the people who have a business as well, I think it's natural to go through these ups and downs.
Yes.
What would you tell someone who's going through a low period? How do you know that it's maybe time to move on to the next thing? as opposed to keep on trying?
I think for that, you need a lot of guidance. I don't even feel like I'm qualified to answer that. Because same thing, like, I'm sure people might be looking at my business right now and being like, girl, it's time to let go. Like, sell, get some money out of it or something. I think it just depends on your own willpower and how much more you have to give.
But I feel like the beauty industry, I mean, it's such a in-demand field, don't you think?
It is, but it also isn't. If you actually look up, like even in our area, we have a med spa walking distance from where we are. Like med spas are just everywhere. So it is a very saturated, so you're all competing.
Yeah.
While I'm a big believer and there's enough business for everybody, we are also still competing against each other, right? Yeah. So what can I do different so people come to my med spa instead of 3 doors over to that med spa?
I mean, I guess that is true. That is true. But okay, I want to talk about your past Mormon life.
Okay.
So you left the Mormon church.
I did. I left the Mormon church 9 years ago.
What got you into it in the first place?
So at the time, I was 22 when I was looking into the Mormon church. I think for me, I worked for a company at the time, and they were all LDS. So this was before I met my husband. And one of them invited me to go to church one day. So I was like, sure, why not? Like, let's go see.
Let's do it.
Yeah, let's just.
What do I have to lose?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think the church at that time gave me such a sense of community that I really needed.
How old were you?
22.
22.
Yes, I had just turned 22. Yes. So it was literally months before I met my husband.
And you decided to convert, right?
I did, yes.
So what convinced you? Was it the community?
It was the community.
Church itself?
It was the community, honestly. You do meet with missionaries when it comes to the LDS church. So just even what the words they were saying, everything was beautiful, right? Everything was painted like gold and, come walk with us. Like, this is going to be amazing. But it did, at the time, that is exactly what I needed in my life.
So what was that process like? Because I get so interested in like that whole side. I watched The Secret Life of the Mormon Wives.
Same. I love that show.
I love that show. I am waiting for the next season.
Yes.
I think Whitney and Jen are killing it on Dancing with the Stars too.
Seriously.
They look amazing.
And Taylor's going to be on The Bachelorette, which I can't wait to watch.
They're like doing big stuff.
Yes.
And it started from like also Mom Talk on TikTok and everything. Yeah. So I'm like super excited to see like what else they do. But anyway, I'm so intrigued in like the life because we see it one way portrayed on the show, which is not your traditional kind of like way that Mormons kind of express themselves and live every day. I think there's like a conception, kind of like this like idea of what the Mormon life is and what they do and what they follow and all that stuff.
Not to bash the church, because I still have some of my husband's family. He was born LDS, so his family is Mormon. I have really good friends that are still Mormon. Did you meet
your husband at the church?
Close.
Okay.
Yes, I'll get into that in a second. But it really is the way you perceive it. If I'm being honest.
It is?
Yes.
So
you do have to fit into this cookie cutter box to really be Mormon.
Let's just be real.
Yes.
Does the Mormon church feel like a cult?
Now looking out, yes. When you're in it, it does not. When you're in it, you feel like this is extended family. This is a community. We're here to help one another.
So what is it like being inside it?
It's got its days. Yeah. So for one, I kind of never fit the mold because I was a single mom, a teen mom at that, which is a big no-no. I had sex before marriage. Like, I am Hispanic. I didn't really fit that cookie cutter mold. I worked, all these things.
Wait, do Mormons?
Most Mormon wives stay home.
Okay.
Yes, that's kind of what's preached, is you're needed more at home, which is, I think this is why I was a stay-at-home mom after I met my husband.
Interesting.
Yes.
Okay, so I think from like meeting you, like you are, in my opinion, a feminist. Like you're all about women empowerment.
I really am.
So were you in a different mindset maybe back then, or were there things that you didn't agree with? But
there was a lot of things I didn't agree with.
Yeah.
Yes, which is why ultimately, many years later, was why I was like, I can't be a part of this anymore. Like, this isn't me. I'm kind of feel like I'm trying to fit in, but I don't fit in because my beliefs are very different. Yes.
I think, not to compare, but like I was raised Catholic.
Okay. Yeah. Same.
And there's a lot of things that I don't agree with as well, but I haven't converted to like a Christian based like faith or whatever. But I mean, I think there's going to be in any religion things that probably people like agree with and don't agree with, you know?
Totally.
There's
religion's
not
hard.
100% you agree with everything. I think it's hard to like, you know, agree on everything.
Yes.
But okay, talk me through like how do you get like into the church? Is it like...
So you do have to meet with the missionaries.
Okay.
I think that you have to do, I want to say it was 6 sessions or lessons, actually. They're called lessons. So where they come into your home, they teach you about like the plan of salvation for one. Then they teach you about the word of wisdom, and they teach you about chastity. Like they kind of have like pretty much an outline of what they're going to teach you.
Yeah.
And then they hand you the Book of Mormon. They ask you to start reading it, to pray about it. And then once you do, then they ask you, do you want to be baptized? And I feel at the time, you know, you are feeling feelings. You're feeling these warm, fuzzy, like, oh, this is great feelings. Like, I feel so good and I feel safe, that you're like, yes, I do want to get baptized. Like, let's set a date. Let's move forward with this. And it also, so between that time of me taking the missionary lessons, I met my husband as well. So he had just gotten home from a LDS mission.
Okay.
So he had spent the last 2 years in Portugal serving a mission for the church. And I think it just kind of made sense. Like, not that I converted for him because I had already made up my mind, but it was kind of like, okay, so now I'm dating this returned missionary, which is like one of the biggest like honors really in the Mormon church. Like if you complete your mission as a young man, like they say blessings will come to you, and like you're kind of seen as like, oh my gosh, you just came back from...
Was he born Mormon?
He was, yes. But his mom's a convert. Okay. And his dad was Mormon. Yeah.
Okay. So what was the moment then that made you say, I want out, I'm done with this?
I think for me it was, so I had just turned 30, and it was a lot of things actually that kind of led me to that. But I did find out some church history, because you're usually told not to look up like things that are not on the LDS church. Like,
really?
Yes, because it can be fake. But sadly, a lot of it's not fake.
It can be fake. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
And so I found out a lot of things about what Mormons believe happens to you when you die, which I was just like, basically what it is in D&C, I want to say it's 30 and 31. I could be wrong. I mean, it's been a long time. But basically says that when you die and you're married, that, you know, you'll get your own planet where you're going to be a god and a goddesses. But the women's role is to give birth for the rest of eternity, and your husband can have multiple wives in heaven.
Oh, no way.
So for me, that was the first, like, wait, what? Yeah. Like, no. Like, if there is some sort of heaven or something afterlife, I'm not going to be sharing my husband with other women. Like,
and no one in the church ever told you this?
No. No
Okay.
one. It's very hush-hush.
So when you did the research, and did you go back and tell them like, hey,
yes,
I saw this?
Yes.
What did they say?
And a lot of times they're just like, don't worry, it'll all get sorted out when you're in heaven. It'll be fine. It's nothing for you to worry about right now.
Oh, no way.
Yes.
Okay.
So for me, it was like, oh, that was the first red flag. And then I served in the young women's group. So in church, you have what's called callings. And my calling was to be with the 13-year-old girls. We do lessons on Sundays with them. And then on Tuesdays, we would have what's called mutual, which is like all the teens get together for activities. And I actually got into it with one member once that was shaming some of these 13-year-old girls for showing up in a 2-piece bikini to a swimming party. Now, keep in mind, it was all girls. It was all 13-year-old girls.
And you're at a swimming party.
You're at a swimming party. Like, the fact to shame somebody and say, like, how dare they wear it? Like, their parents make the choice. Like, it's not up to you to decide. And for me, that just didn't sit right with me. Like, we got into it where I was
that was
just
a little
like,
harsh. Yeah.
That was. I was just like, who cares? They're here. Isn't that what you want?
Especially
you
when
want
they're
them
kids,
to be. Yes,
you know?
it's 13. Like, who cares what they're wearing? Like, they're coming here to hang out with us on a weekday.
Right.
To do a church activity. And so just a bunch of little things started to happen that I'm just like, I don't like this. Like, this isn't right.
What I believe in.
Yes. And I'm very big on, like, I don't like shaming people or talking negatively about them. And, you know, and I'm like, this is not okay.
How are you practicing one thing, but then doing
something different?
Yes.
And a lot of people will say, well, it's the culture. you know, it's not the church itself, but it is very hard to not think of it as the church itself, because a lot of it is because of modesty teachings and things like that, where a lot of these judgmental things come into play.
So when you see the Secret Life of the Mormon Wives, are there things that they do that is kind of taught by the church? And what are the biggest things that they do that are not part of the church? Have you noticed anything?
So,
because I think one thing that a lot of people have said about the show is, I mean, the swig, right? The infamous
that is a
soda.
Mormon thing. Yes.
So I've heard it is a Mormon thing. However, they're not allowed to have caffeine. That's I think
which
what
makes
it is,
no
right?
sense.
It doesn't make sense because I mean they're over there having a Coke and
or
Coke has Dr.
or a Red
Pepper.
Bull.
True. So it's like, okay.
So that's part of the word of wisdom. So the word of wisdom is actually you're not supposed to drink, like have caffeine, hot drinks,
hot
smoke.
drinks. Okay.
Yes.
So not even a hot chocolate.
Which is funny because you can have hot chocolate. Hot drinks more of like hot coffee or like hot teas. Like, so it's just weird. It just never made sense to me. Cause I'm like, the belief in it is so you don't, your body, you know, doesn't absorb like bad things, and your body's a temple and you're not reliant on, cause you know, caffeine addiction is a thing. But it just doesn't make sense when it's like, okay, but I can go have a 32-ounce soda in the morning,
right?
5 of those if I wanted, and it's not
and everything
frowned
is
upon.
fine.
Yes.
I mean, if we were to look at facts for facts, like soda's not the healthiest.
No.
So what are you putting that's going into your temple, you know?
Totally.
Which by all means, have a little
you wanna
swig,
do. Yes,
you know?
yeah.
But don't say one thing and then do
another.
Yeah.
Yes.
So is it pretty accurate then how they do it on the show then?
I feel like it's pretty accurate. A lot of people are going to say no, but it really is. A lot of it's very accurate. I think now, this day and age, a lot more Mormons just kind of cherry pick what they want to do with their religion.
Yeah.
And it's not as frowned upon as when I was
Before.
Mormon. Yes.
So when you left, was it terrifying or was it freeing?
Both.
Okay.
It was terrifying in the sense of, like I said, my husband's family is Mormon.
Yeah.
Just being like, what are they going to say about me? The first conversation actually I had was with my husband to let him know that, hey, listen, I'm not going to be wearing, so you wear garments as Mormon. So that only happens if you go through the temple, which my husband and I did. Just letting them know I'm not going to be wearing these garments anymore. I'm going to be wearing spaghetti straps if I want to, or short shorts if I want to, or a short skirt. Like, I'm not going to be going to church anymore. I'm very blessed that my husband has always been my cheerleader. Like, he supports me no matter what. Like, he loves me for me, not for what I bring to the table or anything like that.
I love that.
Yes. And
that is so special to find.
Oh my gosh. It's very rare too, especially in the Mormon community. Like, most people get divorced over stuff like that.
So is he still Mormon?
So he was for a while. He actually stopped practicing in 2020 is when he finally left. So that was... Let's see, that was 5 years after I left. So he would still go to church on Sundays by himself. You know, we eventually kind of let the kids decide what they wanted to do. And they decided like, oh, no, I want to stay home with mom.
Right.
And it wasn't until 2020 when church went to online because of the pandemic and everything that he kind of started doing reflecting on himself. Because same thing, like he supported me leaving, I wanted to support him going.
Right.
You know, where it's like, hey, if this brings you peace and you love this and you love
by
going,
all means,
I'm here to support you.
Do what fulfills you.
Yes.
Yeah.
For him, he started realizing as our kids started becoming teenagers, the shame and guilt that he carried for many years. Because you are guilted and shamed a lot if you do things that you're not supposed to be doing. And he quickly was just like, as our kids were approaching those ages where, you know, they could be making out with a girl or, you know, whatever it was that wasn't of timely, because you have to, the Mormon church preaches a lot, like not until you're after 16, not you can't date until after 16, like all these things.
Yeah.
Where he was just like, I don't want my kids to grow up with shame like that.
Right.
You know, and that was kind of his big like, aha, like I actually don't want to bring this to my kids and pass it down.
So when you decided to leave, was there like people that you lost in your life because of that decision?
I'm sure there was, but thankfully I didn't notice.
Yeah.
Yes. And it's funny because you did, like, I remember the first time going out in shorts and it was summer, feeling like everybody was staring at me. No one was staring at me.
Yeah.
But you're just raised in this like mentality.
Guilt.
Yes. Of like, oh my gosh, like I'm indecent. Like I'm out here at Target and I feel like everybody's staring at me. Nobody was staring at me, but that's how you feel.
Yeah.
I'm sure there was some judgment, you know, like I have a sister-in-law that's very, very into the church. And I'm sure, you know, she probably still judges, but I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
So what's your vibe now?
My vibe?
Yes. Like, are you spiritual, religious, into crystals?
You know, that's a hard question to ask because I feel like with how everything that's happening in the world, I've started to ask myself, like, what kind of God would let these things happen? So I would say I'm not atheist, but more agnostic, where it's like, I'm sure there's some sort of higher something out there. I just don't know what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
That's fair. All right. I want to play a little baddie beauty game.
Okay.
Are you down?
I'm down.
Okay. So it's glow or no.
Okay.
So I will say a beauty thing, and then you say if it's a total glow up or if it's a hard
oh, no, guys,
okay.
don't judge me.
So, ready?
Yes.
Lip blushing.
Go.
Glow. Okay. Microblading at home with an Amazon kit.
No.
No?
No.
No? We're skipping that one.
Well, the reason why is you're just not sure what you're getting.
True.
So you want to make sure that you're buying from a reputable company that's actually doing the testing, because inks are not federally regulated at all.
Yes.
So honestly, if you're going to buy anything, buy something that's only available in Europe because they have the highest standard of testing, even more than the United States.
And I will say this as a PSA because I just learned this too. So I go and get my nails done on a regular basis, right? I went 2 sets ago to go get them taken off. I had gone to this place that I didn't really go to for my my hands, more so for my pedicure, but I was like, okay, I'm already here, might as well, right? So when I went to go take off that set, I went to where I normally go. And, you know, they normally soak them. And when she unpeeled the foils, she goes, ooh, where did you go get these done? And I was like, down the street at that other place. It was like rubber. It was like stuck to my nails, acrylic. And she goes, you have to be careful because a lot of places use things that are super, super harmful and some things that are illegal. And they just like do it under the table. So I would say if you're watching, also do your research on wherever you go and get anything done on yourself, because like she did make a point and I was like, I don't think I ever pieced it together like that even though it's like your nails, like it still goes into your pores.
Yes, it does.
And it affects like your body, your hormones,
really does.
everything. So you guys better be safe out there.
I think a big red flag is asking, do you have insurance?
Oh, okay.
You would be surprised how many people don't, especially in the permanent makeup world. Like, no, I don't. Like, if anything's to happen to you, who's going to cover this? Right. If you're to get an infection for whatever reason or a botched job or whatever it is, like if they don't have insurance, that's a big, big red flag for me always.
True. Start asking if they have insurance.
Because you do have to submit like what you're using.
Yeah.
And
okay. Noted.
Yes.
Botox before 30.
So I was really poor in my 20s.
Yeah.
So I didn't get Botox until I was 30. I think it depends on the individual.
Yeah.
I feel like, you know, if there are things that are concerning for you, then go for it.
Yeah.
But I don't think everybody needs it before 30.
By all means, whatever makes you happy.
Yes,
you know?
do what makes you happy.
I know when these little forehead lines get deeper, I'm like, put some Botox.
No, and honestly, like me even being my age now, I only do Botox 2 times a year now.
2 times a year?
2 times a year. Yeah.
Okay.
Just because same thing. I'm like, I want to be able to have some expression.
Yeah.
So, and you actually get like immune to Botox. So you'll need more product.
Do you really?
Yes.
No way.
Yes.
So you'll need it more frequently.
Yeah, you'll need it more frequently and you'll need higher doses. So that's another thing where it's like, okay, that's why I kind of switched my mindset of like, let's work on preventative. So I do a lot of microneedling on myself and things like that. And then it's allowed me to now cut back to 2 times a year.
I love that.
Yes.
I love that. Whatever makes you happy.
Yes.
I'm always big on that. Like, honestly, people don't know how hard it is to be a woman.
Oh my gosh. The standard that we're held to, that you have to look like this and weigh this much.
And then when you do, it's like, oh, she probably got worked out.
Too much. Yes.
It's like, okay, there's one or the other. Like you can never like keep people happy. But yes. So lash extensions every 2 weeks.
I get lash extensions done still.
I miss my lash extensions.
I love them. I do believe that there is such thing as a lash blindness, you know, meaning like they're too much.
I've seen that on TikTok.
Yes. And I 100% agree. There's too much. But again, at the end of the day, if that makes you feel beautiful, then you do you.
Do
like,
it.
who cares what the internet's saying?
I honestly miss them. I think the biggest thing of why I don't have them is because going every 2 weeks
It's time consuming.
is time consuming. And then sitting there for like 2 hours, I'm like, gosh, I
it
have
is a lot.
things to do. Like, you
so
know.
it works because we do it on my med spa. So I'll just be like, hey, I'm sliding into your schedule right now. Or I'll do like minis instead of like a full fill.
I love a good lash. Like you wake up and you feel like you're ready.
Like you're ready.
Yes.
And for me, like it's changed my eye shape. Like I have downturned eyes. Like, and for me, like it's helped open up my eyes instead of making them look like, I feel like I look a boy.
They look great, girl.
Aw,
they
thank
look great.
you.
Drinking, have you heard of this one? Because I hadn't. Drinking chlorophyll for your skin.
No. What?
I had not heard about that one.
Where'd you hear this?
On the internet. So I don't know if that's even healthy.
I don't even know.
That doesn't even sound healthy.
That does not sound healthy. So like, I'm going to say no.
I'm going to say no too. We're going to pass on that one. PRP facials.
Yes and no.
Okay.
So one thing about PRP that I've learned a lot is obviously there are benefits to it, but when you're of a certain age, like not that your PRP is bad, but it's not going to do much for you.
Older then? When you're older, it's not going to do much for you.
It's not going to do much for you.
Okay.
Or if you're sick, you're not going to get those benefits. If you just came off a cold, you're not going to get the full benefits of PRP. I would actually do exosomes, which are human-derived stem cells. You'll get better results, and you don't have to get your own blood drawn. So, and it's 100% like, you know, this is coming from somebody that's super healthy, very young, like.
Wait, so when you get it done, it's not your blood?
Exosomes is something different.
Okay, it's something different. Yeah. Okay. How old? Well, actually, no. Hold on. You already said that. I was going to say, how old are you? And what keeps you looking 25?
Oh, you're so sweet. I think genetics. My parents look really young. Like, my dad is almost going to be 60.
Yeah.
And if him and I are out together, like, people will think he's my husband.
Really?
Or even, like, growing up, they always thought he was my boyfriend. My mom was my sister. Or, like, I think it's genetics.
Young genes,
genetics,
girl. Yes. Oh my gosh,
I think
you are
long hair. I think if my hair was shorter, I'd probably look a little older too.
Why is it? You know, I asked my friends.
Have you seen that theory, like of the Friends or the Sex and the City with the Golden Girls?
No,
they're the same age.
No way.
Yes, but it just shows like because they had like more of like the grandma cut, like how much it ages somebody.
I tell my friends all the time, I want to be a viejita with long hair.
Me too.
Like I think women with long hair just look beautiful. Whatever. Again,
whatever
float your boat. But why is it that like when women get to a certain age, they just
have to cut it.
They cut it. They get the pixie cutter.
It could be like maybe hair loss.
It could,
you know, it could be other things.
It could be that they just like don't want to like
have to do it.
Yeah,
because it is. You know, you have long hair. You can't just walk out of the house without doing something with it.
You got to do something, or else it looks like you just crawled out of bed. Yeah,
literally,
for sure. I know. I'm like, ugh. I want to be 80 years old and have long hair.
Same.
I want to be curling my hair at 80.
I want to look like. Have you seen Kris Jenner?
Oh yes, with her new hair.
What with her new everything?
Yes.
I'm just like, this lady needs to start dropping who her doctors are, what she got done, and sign me up so I can look like her. Because I think she's like 70. Or something along those lines.
I think she's probably like older than 70, isn't she?
And she looks like she's in her 30s. It's
I know.
amazing.
She looks great.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. Whatever her recipe is, like.
Share it, girl.
Share it. Yeah. So what's next for you? Are you thinking of another spa at some point?
No.
Are you thinking, you're like, no.
No, honestly. TikTok, yeah. So I'm trying to grow my TikTok. I'm hoping that maybe like that'll be kind of like, but TikTok has been my escape. So maybe TikTok, you know, still continue with my business. I do think that eventually I will sell my business at some point. Just because I do want to eventually get to do all the things I never got to do because I was a mom. Like me and my husband want to travel, do all the things. And so the goal would be to eventually, you know, get my business to a certain point and sell it to private equity and retire and
live it up.
Yes, literally live it up.
I love that. I love that. So y'all know where to find her. Hit her up. I want to book a facial. So after this, can we talk about it? Yes,
obviously,
yes, for sure. But thank you so much for being on the podcast.
Oh, thank you.
And you look great, girl.
Thank you.
I'm like, after this, can you share your secrets?
Of course.
I'm like, okay, I need some. But thank you everyone for tuning in. I will see you back here next week on Wednesday. Bye.